di loro.
Ora,
No, adesso no, l'avevo fatto l'altra volta. Allora, adesso vediamo.
io sembra che stia dicendo ora in onda.
Sì, sì, siamo in onda, però non riusciamo a vederli. Vediamo un po'. Allora, qua mi dà non mi dà più. Eccoci.
Dunque,
Sono
visto che
moderatore,
tu
partecipando a questa domanda, questo concetto
metti questo,
mettiamo questo, moneta
è
QA.
solo ascolto.
Al momento non ci sono richieste di domanda, per favore.
Ah, allora riprova poi,
Proviamo
guarda,
con
no, riprova quali sono ancora?
solo moderatori. Solo moderatori possono vedere se dove siete.
Questa icona qui della...
No, vediamo un po' che cosa dicono. Perché prima comparivano qua.
We can see you, we can see
We
you.
can see you.
Forse loro non vanno visti, ma non si sentono, il problema è che can you hear us? E io non posso.
Hello?
Non c'è risposta.
No, aspetta, vediamo un po'. Can you... Can you hear us? Yes.
You know what?
Aspetta. Ecco, l'ho già fatto. Sì. Direttamente, sì, sarebbe stato molto più semplice,
Ma
effettivamente.
dov'è la lista le cose che scrivono qui dove sono finite?
Sono sparite, allora vediamo se le ritroviamo. Can you be a little more louder? Yes. Che loro ci sentono, però noi non riusciamo a vederli.
Ma vai, allora vediamo. Però se non
Invita i
c'è...
partecipanti, vediamo un po'. No. Aspetta, proviamo a riconnetterci, vediamo se riusciamo a vederli.
Lei sei sicuro?
Tu dici no?
No,
Perché l'altra volta riuscivamo a vedere comunque la tipa che c'era lì in India.
we can see you and
And
hear
hear
you.
you.
Ok,
Vabbè,
allora fai la
allora...
presentazione.
Ok, facciamo. Allora, il problema è che non possiamo interagire.
Diciamo sì, appunto, we can start to present the foundation programs, but we don't hear you, and we neither hear you nor we see.
Ok, ok. Aspetta, si sta connettendo qualcuno. Hello?
Hi,
Hi? Aspetta.
hi, can you hear
Hi,
us?
I cannot hear you. Hello? Aspetta, fammi alzare il volume forse. Hi? Aspetta. Hi? Can you can you raise the volume of your microphone, please? No, non sento. Hello. Okay, I can hear you, but not really,
Not really
not
properly.
yeah, not really properly. Fare sì, non me lo dà. Can you try?
Hello. 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 Hello.
Okay, here we are.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Hello. I cannot hear you really well.
Can you hear me?
Just a little bit. Okay, can you hear me well? It's very slow.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Not
Uh,
really. We can hardly hear you.
it's really low, the volume.
Can you hear us?
How is it now?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Not really well, just few words.
Hi.
I don't know why. I don't know what's the problem. Because like the volume is like at the maximum
Can you
level.
hear me now?
Now a bit
A
better.
little bit better, yes.
Okay, maybe you must stay like
Hello.
closer to the microphone.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so if you want, we can start the presentation, and then we can have some time for. Hello? Yeah?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. If you want, we can start with the present.
Start. Yes.
Okay, and then we can have some time also for the questions. Okay, we will try to do our best, even if the the volume is not really good. Okay.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Can you see the presentation? Can you see the first page of the University of Pisa?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so like my name is Adio Terranova, and I am the logistics coordinator of the foundation course, and I am here with okay, and I am here with my manager Paola Cappellini.
Hi, morning.
And so we are going to talk to you about the foundation course program. And before to do it, I will just give you a few facts about the University of Pisa, just to let you know, but I will be really quick. So the University of Pisa was founded in 1343, the oldest universities in Europe. It is a comprehensive university, so it means basically that we, okay, where are you? Okay. Okay, so it means basically that we have almost all the subjects, so like a student. Okay, yeah. So like the students who wish to come to study to our university can choose among almost all the subjects. And we're a really big university, so we are the 8th biggest university in Italy, and almost the 7% of our students is made of international students. So just really quickly. So let's move on our main topic. So the foundation course program. So as you may know, The foundation course program is a one-year program, which is almost all completely taught in English, and we do have two main academic fields, so humanities and sciences. So the aim of the foundation course is to bridge the gap between high school and university. We set up the foundation course program in 2016. We were the first university in Italy to establish this kind of program. And for the academic year 2018 and 2019, we have 37 students from many different countries, among which Russia, USA, India, Azerbaijan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and so on. So who can apply for the foundation course? Hello, good morning. Okay, so who can apply for the foundation course? So we have, like our program is aimed basically at two different kind of students. So students either who have 10 or 11 years of schooling plus a high school, a final high school certificate, or American students who do not have either the advanced placement courses or who didn't attend the 2 years of college. Also, the foundation course program is aimed at students who already have 12 years of schooling, like Indian students, because like Indian students get their high school diploma after 12 years of schooling. So they can choose to study the foundation course either in order to learn Italian up to the B2 level, because the B2 level is the level required to apply for a bachelor's degree in Italian, or they can decide to apply for the foundation course in order to also get prepared for a bachelor's degree, for example, in a scientific field. So about the requirements for the foundation course program, we require a high school diploma obtained overseas, and also we require the knowledge of English equivalent to a B2 level. So the B2 English language level can be demonstrated in the following ways. So either by submitting an international certification such as IELTS or TOEFL, or like the student can submit a certification given by an official English language school. The important thing is that like the English language knowledge is like demonstrated, like based on the Common European Framework of Reference of Languages. So like all the skills must be evaluated, so listening, writing, speaking, and reading from A1 to C2 level. I don't know if you can still hear me. I think so. Okay. Also, so the students can demonstrate the English language knowledge, so either by an international certificate or by a certificate given by an English language school, or also they can demonstrate their English language knowledge by the attendance of 1 year of high school completely taught in English. So that's also another option in addition to the certification. And also in some cases we can request evaluate English language knowledge of the students. So this is news of this year with regards to the foundation course. So it will regard the students who will apply for the foundation course in 2019 and 2020 in the next academic year. And so this news is about the possibility to get a scholarship if like a student will decide to continue to study at the University of Pisa after the foundation course program. So the scholarship will be for like the best two students evaluated during the foundation course, so one for humanities and one for science. So the best two students will be able to continue to study at the University of Pisa without paying tuition fees for the first year of the bachelor's degree. Chose. So here, just a few words about the structure of the foundation course program. So for both humanities and science, students must get 36 credits, which are taught in English, and with regards to humanities, they regard subjects such as Italian history, Greek and Roman archaeology, philosophy, and so on. Instead, with regards to science, these credits must be obtained within the fields of chemistry, biology, economics, mathematics, and so on. So 36 credits with regards to specific subjects, and also 24 credits in Italian language. So the students can start to study Italian from the A1 level up to the B2 level. So the B2 level, as I said, is the minimum level required in order to continue to study at the University of Pisa in a bachelor's degree taught in Italian. Here you can have just a view about all the subjects that are taught within the foundation course in humanities. So we have Italian literature, modern European history, Greek and Roman archaeology, history of art, and introduction to philosophical thought, plus the 24 credits of Italian. So we have 288 hours in total divided into 2 semesters with regards to the Italian language. About science, the foundation course science, we offer the following subjects. So basic mathematical language modeling and reasoning, physics, chemistry, biology, and principles of economics and management, plus, even in this case, 24 credits of Italian language. Okay, here in this slide, you can see some really important deadlines about the foundation course. So May 31st is the deadline to send us the applications of the students, the application form plus the other documents. The 14th of June is the deadline for the payment of the first installment of the tuition fees. So the payment which is equivalent to the 20% of the total amount of the tuition fees. Then July 24th is another really important deadline, because is the deadline for the pre-enrollment procedure at the Italian embassy. So we do advise students to apply for a study visa as soon as they get the letter of acceptance for the foundation course, so that they can have like all the time to get the visa and the declaration of value as soon as possible. And September 1st is the latest permissible date to arrive in Italy. That's really important because after this date, we will not accept any other students to arrive here because like after a few days, the Italian language classes will start. So we advise students to arrive really early so that they can join the lessons and they can so that they cannot have any kind of problem with regards to them. The last really important deadline is September 30th, because September 30th is the deadline for the submission of all the documents included in the application procedure, and it's also the deadline for the payment of the 80% of the last installment of the tuition fees, which is equivalent to the 80%. Also, it must be said, this deadline is extended up to December 31st with a penalty of 500 euros. So it means that if students are not able to pay the 80% of the tuition fees, and if they are not able to submit the other documents by September 30th, they can do that by December 31st, but they must pay an additional fee of 500 euros. So let me see if I can. So just to see if okay, I just wanted to just to be sure that you were able to hear me. So if something is not clear, I just please ask you to write it on the dashboard so that I can repeat and I can explain you better about them. Okay, so I was saying that like the foundation course is mainly for students who have either 10 or 11 years of schooling, but it can be also a really good program for like students who already have 12 years of schooling plus a high school certificate. And that's the case of Indian students. So why the foundation course can be useful for Indian students? Because they can learn Italian up to the B2 level, which is, as I already said, a necessary requirement to apply to the majority of the bachelor's degrees at the University of Pisa. And also because through the foundation course, the students can get a solid preparation useful both for the admission and the evaluation tests for the university. Also, it must be said that the foundation course science in particular is similar to the last year of a scientific high school in Italy. And the admission tests for the university in the scientific fields are mainly based on the last year of high school programs. Therefore, studying seriously during the foundation course could help them to succeed when they apply for the university. In order to obtain the final qualification, the student must at least end the 80% of the lessons in each class. Students must achieve all the expected credits in the chosen course, and also they must reach at least the B1 Italian language level. So the B1 level is necessary to get the final diploma, while the B2 level is necessary if students want to continue to study in a bachelor's degree taught in Italian. So the registration cost for the foundation course is equivalent to 5,000 euros, both for humanities and for science. And as I said, after the foundation course program, a student can apply for a bachelor's degree at the University of Pisa. So the students can apply to a bachelor's degree either in Italian or in English. However, as I already said, the B1 level is necessary to get the diploma, and the same level is necessary if a student wants to apply to a bachelor's degree at the University of Pisa, which is taught in English. Okay. Instead, if the students want to apply to a bachelor's degree taught in Italian, they must have a B2 Italian language level. About the deadlines, I would like to say something, because if in order to apply for a bachelor's degree, the B1 level and the foundation course diploma must be obtained by at the most December 31st. So in the case of this academic year, the student must reach the level and the diploma by December 31st, 2019, while the B2 level must be obtained at the most by March 31st, 2020. So if the student finishes the foundation course, but they have not reached the level, like by, for example, July 2019, they can be conditionally enrolled to a bachelor's degree until they will not reach the Italian language level required. So after the students finish the foundation course, they can choose among a wide range of bachelor's degree programs within the following disciplinary areas. So agricultural and veterinary sciences, humanities, engineering, mathematical, physical and natural sciences, health sciences and social sciences. We have 2 bachelor's degrees that are taught in English. The first one is the bachelor's degree in management for business and economics, and the second one is the international program in humanities, where the first year is taught in English and the second and third year are taught in Italian and can be chosen among like the bachelor's degree in history, philosophy, cultural heritage studies, or discipline of entertainment and communication. And here we have some frequently asked questions by the students. And the first one regards what a student must do after they finish the foundation course program. Do they have to get back to their country to apply for a new visa, or they can continue to stay in Italy and so they do not have to apply for a new visa, but they can just renew their residency permit? So basing on our experience so far, students who successfully finish the foundation course program do not have necessarily return to their country to apply for a new visa, but they can renew their residency permit directly from Italy. And so it is, I think, really comfortable, because they can do it directly from Italy and they can continue to study at the university without getting back to their country. This is also another question that is made by the students, and it regards the fact whether or not when a student applies for the foundation course must follow the pre-enrollment procedure through the embassy. So basing on the last Italian ministerial guidelines, students who apply for the foundation course program must not necessarily follow the pre-enrollment procedure at the Italian embassy, because the pre-enrollment procedure regards only students who apply either for a bachelor's degree or for a master's degree program. The foundation course program is instead a pre-university program, and so it doesn't follow the deadlines within the pre-enrollment procedure. However, like each embassy has its own way of doing things. So our advice is to ask the embassy like about what is the correct procedure to follow, because even though theoretically students must not follow the pre-enrollment procedure, maybe the embassy will decide to let students do that anyways in order to apply and to get the declaration of value, for example, because the obtainment of the declaration of value is usually included within the pre-enrollment procedure for the obtainment of a study D visa. Another question, which is usually made by the students, is the questions that regard whether or not a student after the foundation course can apply for another Italian university, which is not the University of Pisa. What we say to the students is that like the foundation course program is officially recognized by our government as a way to fill the gap between the secondary school and the university. However, each Italian university holds a certain degree of autonomy regarding the admission of its students. So if a student, when applies for the foundation course, is interested to apply for another university, our advice for them is to contact the university accept them with the foundation course program plus a secondary school leaving qualification. Okay, I would like to give you some info about what are the tuition fees for Indian students if they will decide to continue to study at the University of Pisa after the foundation course program. And the total amount of the tuition fees for Indian students is, for the academic year 2018-2019, is equivalent at the most to around 590 euros per year, divided in 4 different installments. That is the maximum that a student from India can pay. Also, students can have the opportunity to apply every year for the DSU scholarship, and if they win the scholarship, the candidate can benefit from free accommodation, free meals, and the exemption of the university fees. Also, I would like to tell you about just some opportunities that we offer to students who continue to study at the University of Pisa after the foundation course. Students can apply for a part-time job within the university. They can do that even because, like, students who have a D visa can work for a maximum of 20 hours per week. and so they are also eligible to apply for a part-time job at the university. For this, like the duration of the job is 150 hours, and they can do that within the university facilities, so they can work to the libraries, to the administration offices, to the university museums, and so on. And also full-time students, so students who are enrolled at the University of Pisa can also apply for the Erasmus Plus program, which can be either for study or for traineeship. So through the Erasmus Plus program, students can do a study period or a traineeship period from 3 to 12 months in one of the many European universities that are partners with the University of Pisa. So as I said, the study period abroad can last from 3 months to 12 months, like at the most. And so a student can stay in one of the countries with which Can you hear me now? Okay, yes, so I confirm you that the registration fee is 5,000 euros, which is divided in 2 installments. The first one is equivalent to the 20% of the tuition fees, and it must be paid by the 14th of June. And the second installment is equivalent to the 80% the tuition fees, which must be paid by at the most the 30th of September without the penalty, and by the 31st of December with a penalty of 500 euros. Okay, the presentation was done in any case, so if you have any questions, please write them. Okay, no, there are not application fees. Okay, so when the student send us the application form with all the other documents, we evaluate them, and if like the evaluation is positive, we ask the student to sign a responsibility agreement and to pay the 20% of the tuition fees, so that we can send them the acceptance letter that the student will use in order to apply for the visa that will allow them to come to the. I don't know if you heard my answer.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, in some cases, we ask students to have a Skype interview with one of our English language teachers. And we require that when we are not sure about the English language skills of the student. Anyways, the Skype interview is usually really short. It lasts between 10 and 15 minutes. And like the teacher just asks the student really basic questions about the academic experience of the student, or about like what are the like the aims and the objectives of the students with regards to their desire to come to Italy. So in some cases, yes, we require also a Skype interview to test the English language skills. What do you mean by education gap? Can you please be more specific? Okay, so about the accommodation, the University of Pisa does not have a university. Okay, sorry, after 12, 1 or 2 years. So do you mean if like after? Okay, so I will answer. Okay, first of all, to Sonia's question. So do you mean like if the student gets first the high school diploma after 12 years of schooling, and then he decides just not to study for 1 year, and then he decides to apply for the foundation course? Because in this case, yeah. No, there are not problems about it. I mean, if a student gets their high school diploma after 12 years, and then they decide just to stop for 1 year and then to apply for the foundation course, there are not any problems for us. He can do that. They can do that without any problems. Could you please explain about the accommodation and pickup? So about the accommodation, as I was saying, the University of Pisa does not have a campus, so we are not able to offer students a university accommodation. However, what we can do is to help students to find an accommodation through private landlords. So after the student has been accepted, we can provide them a list of website and in general web sources through which the student can look for an accommodation by themselves. And in doing that, we can help them to find an accommodation. I mean, if the student has a problem, for example, understand like the like the elements of the rent contract, or if the student has problems to communicate with the landlord, we can help them to do that, because like not all the landlords are able to speak English, and so with regards to this, the university will assist and help students to facilitate this procedure. And we do not offer pick up at the airport. But we can do that only in exceptional cases, and only if we have part-time students who work with us who are available to do that. But it's not a service that we normally offer to students. Is there any risk involved in getting visa since the students are applying for a foundation program and not for a regular bachelor degree? It depends on the embassy. I mean, we cannot give students the certainty that they will be able to get the visa to come here. We, of course, are available to help students in obtaining their visa. So we can talk to the embassy, we can provide additional documents that can be useful for the students to get the visa. But of course, we cannot give students the certainty that they will be able to obtain their visa. And if they are not able to obtain it, if they have their visa rejected, in some cases, if I mean the rejection is not caused by the negligence of the student, we can give back the payment of the first installment of the tuition fees. Anyways, what I advise you to do is to talk to the embassy and to ask them if the students must follow or not the pre-enrollment procedure, like the normal students who apply either for a bachelor's degree or for a master's degree program. So after submitting the application, how long will it take to issue conditional offer? So we will we evaluate documents like in just at the moment. After that, the student will take to send us the responsibility agreement signed plus the payment of the first installment of the tuition fees. Anyways, I would say that in total, like from the submission of the application form plus all the other documents, if all the documents are fine, it take between like 10 days and 14 days to get to have a conditional acceptance letter. But as I said, it depends also on how long the student takes to send us the responsibility agreement signed plus the 20% of the tuition fees, because only after that we can send to the student a conditional acceptance letter. You're welcome. Do you have any other questions? Okay, thank you very much and bye bye, and I hope to hear about you soon. Bye bye. Sì. No, no, mi hanno fatto un po' di domande, però l'unica cosa è che non riuscivo a vederle.